Wednesday, the 5th of November, 2025. Good morning, everyone. This morning's devotional is a reading from Mark chapter 11, reading verse 24, and it reads, "Therefore I tell you," now this is Jesus speaking, "whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." Wonderful, isn't it? Prayer is something that should be close to our hearts and first on the list of any to-do list. When people are asked if they pray, some will respond yes, some will respond no, some will say, I forgot, and others will just turn around and promptly say, well, I don't have time for things like that. We need to know that one of the most important things that we can do every day and in our lives is to pray. Now, someone will say, but I don't know how to pray. That's Scrappy-Doo having a sneeze. He's got a cold this morning. My response is, do you talk to your friends and family? If the answer is yes, then you can pray. Now, I'll also admit that I do not know everything about prayer, but these are my few humble thoughts. So we ask ourselves, but what is prayer actually? Prayer is like having a conversation with God. It is a dialogue, not a monologue, not a one-way street, as many of us make it out to be. It is also not a demand list, demanding things. Rather, it is speaking to a Father who loves you with all his heart. To pray, you do not need to go to the shops and buy all these books that are entitled How to Pray, or To Pray Effectively, or 101 Ways for Easy Prayers. Know this is all a money-making scam, and you are only making one person rich, and that is all three people rich, the authors and the publishers. All you need to do is ask God to teach you to pray. The disciples asked Jesus, and what did Jesus do? He taught them to pray. In fact, Jesus gives us the model prayer, which many of us know off by pat, but we dash through it at a rate of knots, like running 100 meters in 2 seconds. It is the prayer we find in Matthew chapter 6, verses 5 to 15. It is called the Lord's Prayer, and it is still applicable today and to each and every one of us. If you don't know how to pray, begin with that. In reality, many people have been discouraged from praying and from praying persistently. Why? Well, obviously it's very disappointing when you pray for something and you don't get it. But what we do not understand is we normally pray for our wants. For example, I want a new car, I want a new job, or I want a new house, or something like that. And we do not pray according to our needs. God supplies all our needs on a daily basis. We also do not pray persistently because we lack perseverance. But we also don't want to come across as like nagging or whining God for the same thing over and over and over again. In fact, Jesus teaches us to pray persistently. I think it's in the book of Luke that he does this. But you may also ask, but surely after all, if God is God, then he will know what you need, isn't it? Well, yes, true, God is God, but you also need to ask him, because if you do not ask him, you do not receive. Parents will know what I'm talking about. Your children growing up, you knew what they needed when they were very small, when they couldn't verbalize things. And as they get older, you knew they needed things, but waited for them to ask you. If they didn't ask you, well, they just didn't receive it. My dear friends, something else to think of prayer as your umbilical cord to God. When your mother was pregnant with you and you were developing inside her body, there was a thing called an umbilical cord which attached you to her. Life was passed through this umbilical cord. All the life-growing nutrients that you needed, things that you needed to make you healthy and strong, were passed through this. But at the same time, all the waste, all the rubbish that you produced was passed back through that umbilical cord to your mother. Your mother then processed it and dealt with it. Do not give up. Persist in prayer. Be faithful. Pray at all times. Tomorrow we have a tad more on the topic. May the Lord be with you. May He bless you. May He cause His face to shine upon you and be with you always. Goodbye.